Tonight is a special night at the White House. It's Donald and Melania's 20th wedding anniversary. 20 years is a long time, especially for Melania. This morning, Trump paid tribute to his longest-serving wife by reposting this AI image of himself with a lion. And then, I'm guessing he noticed a bunch of people posting about his anniversary, which reminded him, oh, it's my anniversary. So he then reposted this sweet photo of Melania literally pushing him away from her. Then he posted a long love letter to Russia and Vladimir Putin, and then he posted this, happy 20th anniversary to Melania. Melania posted nothing to celebrate. You know, the traditional present for a 20th anniversary is China, which is a country Trump blames for a lot of things, but also an exquisite commemorative gift. We had a big show last night. Last night, at the 2-year mark of the Trump presidency, we put on a halftime tribute show to Trump, and we got some pretty positive news coverage for it. The failing New York Times put us in their best of late-night column. Jimmy Kimmel celebrates the midway point of Trump's presidential term. Deadline Hollywood, Jimmy Kimmel celebrates Donald Trump, an intermission accomplished, a halftime tribute. We even got a shout-out from Fox News. Jimmy Kimmel depicts Donald Trump's father in hell, mocks Kellyanne Conway's sex life. Well, that did happen. And both of those things happened. So, today, by the way, it's another bigly day for Donald. Today is the Trump's 14th wedding anniversary. Melania spent the day at home binge-watching Escape from Dannemora. The president was up bright and early today tweeting about the love of his life, himself. He wrote, Marist NPR PBS poll shows President Trump's approval rating among Latinos going to 50%, an increase in 1 year of 90%. Thank you, working hard. Nothing about Melania all day. He tweeted.
Donald Trump is fuming once again, and this time it's over late-night host Jimmy Kimmel pulling back the curtain on something he'd rather keep hidden, his marriage. Kimmel didn't hold back, exposing awkward truths that have everyone talking, and Trump's furious reaction only made it worse. But what exactly did Kimmel say that struck such a nerve? And why does Trump's response say more than he realizes? Let's break it all down. Jimmy Kimmel knows exactly how to push Trump's buttons. After years in the late-night game, he understands that taking a swing at the former president doesn't just land a joke, it sparks a full-blown media frenzy. So when Kimmel stepped onto that stage, grinning like he had just uncovered comedy gold, the audience braced themselves. And this time, he exposed an embarrassing truth about Trump that sent him into an all-out meltdown.
Our president kept the crowd very warm at CPAC over the weekend. CPAC, if you're not familiar, is basically what would happen if Judge Jeanine Pirro headlined the Fire Festival. It's a lot of very angry white people. It is the largest gathering of people who believe vaccines are witchcraft in the world. And for 2 hours and 2 minutes, Donald Trump gave what I believe we may look back on as his I Have a Dream speech. This was his longest speech since taking office. He went on and on. You could have left this speech, watched 2 episodes of Game of Thrones, come back, and he would still have been going. And to kick things off, Trump went to one of his signature moves to start it. And I know there's a lot of competition, but this, I think, this might be the dumbest thing he does. Who does that? Donald Trump shows more affection to flags than Eric and Don Jr. have ever gotten in their whole lives.
Donald Trump and his third wife, Melania, marked their 20th wedding anniversary on Wednesday, but let's just say the celebrations weren't exactly filled with romance. Instead, the milestone became prime material for late-night hosts, with both Jimmy Fallon and Jimmy Kimmel taking their shots in hilarious fashion. Kimmel, never one to miss an opportunity, mocking the former president's love of branding and merchandising. Meanwhile, Fallon delivered a cutting joke that had audiences howling. At this point, the only prisoner Trump hasn't released is Melania, a sharp dig at Trump's recent spree of pardons for those involved in the Jan 6 insurrection. But while the jokes landed with the audience, Trump wasn't laughing. If there's one thing he hates more than being mocked, it's people questioning the state of his marriage. And with Kimmel leading the charge, exposing the awkward realities of the Trump's relationship, the former president's fury was inevitable. His reaction? A classic Trump eruption filled with rage and social media rants. So what exactly did Kimmel say that hit a nerve? But Jimmy Kimmel didn't stop there. He took things a step further. The Los Angeles-based late-night host turned Trump's 20th wedding anniversary into a full-on spectacle, unveiling a mock infomercial for the Donald and Melania 20th Trumpiversary China collection. With his signature smirk, Kimmel painted a picture of a marriage that's more about branding than romance, poking fun at the awkward dynamic between the former president and his wife. The bit wasn't just a joke. It was a direct hit at one of Trump's biggest insecurities, the public perception of his marriage. The so-called Donald and Melania 20th Trumpiversary China collection was packed with fine china, each piece capturing the most romantic, or rather most awkward moments from the couple's 20-year marriage. Kimmel's team carefully curated these cherished memories, including one plate featuring the duo sitting stiffly next to each other, their body language screaming discomfort rather than affection. Another design showcased the now infamous moment from Trump's inauguration, where Melania's oversized hat conveniently shielded her from a public kiss with her husband, a moment that went viral for all the wrong reasons. Kimmel's parody wasn't just about poking fun at Trump's anniversary, it was a satirical deep dive into the undeniable tension between the former president and his wife. And while the audience roared with laughter, Trump's reaction was anything but amused. The jokes about his marriage hit close to home, setting the stage for yet another classic Trump meltdown.
Hello, everyone. I have something incredible to share today. We are announcing the launch of the Donald and Melania 20th Trumpiversary China collection. This line of beautiful plates commemorate all of my and the third Mrs. Trump's most romantic moments. Our intimate dinners, strolls on the tarmac, super hot makeout sessions, and the hole on my golf course where I will eventually bury her. Like all of my products, this china is made in China by child laborers whose hands are even tinier and more supple than my own. And that's not all. The Trumpiversary collection features classified document placemats with real military secrets, a signature Eric Trump adult bib, a Pete Hegseth 64-ounce wine glass, the Marjorie Taylor Greene signature tablecloth with eye holes, and the Steve Bannon gravy bar. That's why they call him Sloppy Steve. What a mess he is. The Donald and Melania 20th Trumpiversary China collection. Own it today for just 12 easy payments of $89.99, $99, $99, $99. Available wherever dangerous lead products are sold.
Kimmel's mock infomercial didn't stop at just the China collection. It also highlighted a series of special bonus items available for purchase, each one a hilariously brutal jab at Trump and his inner circle. Among the must-have additions were a Pete Hegseth wine glass, a nod to the Fox News host's infamous on-air claim that he doesn't wash his hands, classified document placemats, a playful dig at Trump's mishandling of sensitive government files, and an Eric Trump adult bybee because, well, even Kimmel couldn't resist taking a shot at the often overlooked Trump son. The parody only got sharper from there. For those looking to elevate their dining experience, Kimmel introduced a Marjorie Taylor Greene tablecloth, conveniently shaped like a KKK hood, a biting critique of the far-right congresswoman's rhetoric. And of course, no Trump-themed dinner set would be complete without a Steve Bannon gravy barge, a not-so-subtle nod to the former advisor's notoriously disheveled appearance. The entire commercial was narrated by a Trump impersonator who delivered the final punchline in true Trump fashion. All our fine china is made in China by child laborers whose hands are even tinier and more supple than my own. The audience erupted in laughter, but one person who wasn't laughing? Donald Trump himself. With Kimmel exposing some of the most embarrassing truths about his marriage and presidency, the former president's fury was inevitable. Jimmy Kimmel has never missed an opportunity to take shots at Donald Trump, and last year was no different. In 2024, after the former president admitted he couldn't afford to pay the massive $464 million bond tied to his civil fraud conviction in New York, Kimmel turned the situation into comedy gold. He joked that the real loser in all of this was Melania Trump, saying she might end up with half of the nothing Trump owns now. He also suggested that Trump's financial struggles could put even more pressure on their marriage. Kimmel added that he hoped Melania had secured an advance on her prenup because if she disliked Trump now, she would hate him even more once he was broke. Melania Trump has been largely absent from public life since leaving the White House in 2021 and has skipped most of her husband's campaign events. Trump has defended her absence by saying she is a private person and will be joining him on the road soon. However, many remain skeptical. If she is already keeping her distance, what happens if Trump's financial empire really collapses? Kimmel's jokes may have been funny, but they also highlighted an awkward reality about the Trumps' relationship.
I mean, nobody ever heard of the president changing the weather with a Sharpie before either. Something tells me over the weekend Trump's going to start talking about how strong Vladimir Putin is, and suddenly a dump truck full of rubles will pull up and cover this for him. But, of course, the real loser here is Melania. She may end up with half of the nothing he owns now. I hope she got an advance on that prenup, because if you think she hates him now, wait until he's poor. That's going to... But his excuses, I will say, are richer than ever.
Jimmy Kimmel took another jab at Donald Trump's relationship with his wife, Melania, by highlighting a moment that he claimed was the happiest she had been in a long time. The late-night host focused on footage of the Trumps arriving in California to assess the damage caused by a series of wildfires. When they landed, they were met on the airport tarmac by California Governor Gavin Newsom, a Democrat whom Trump has frequently criticized. Kimmel suggested that Trump might secretly admire Newsom, joking that the former president looked at him with envy, wishing his own son Don Jr. could measure up. He then played footage of Trump and Newsom engaged in conversation and humorously attempted to interpret what they might have been saying. What really caught Kimmel's attention, however, was what happened next. As Trump turned to walk away, Newsom and Melania shared a handshake and a kiss on the cheek. Kimmel pointed out this moment, claiming that it was the happiest Melania had looked in quite some time. The segment continued with Newsom and Trump addressing reporters. Kimmel noted that Newsom tried to keep the peace by complimenting Trump's response to the COVID-19 crisis, saying that he had been there for California and that they wouldn't forget it. Kimmel then compared the statement to praising a horror movie villain for their presence, adding a comedic twist to the exchange. While the audience laughed, the segment once again highlighted Trump's often scrutinized relationship with Melania, playing into the ongoing public perception of tension between the two.
Governor Newsom was on hand to greet the president and first lady as they landed. There's our governor alone with his hands in his pockets, like an Abercrombie and Fitch model is waiting. And now, I happen to believe that Trump likes Gavin Newsom. I think he looks at Gavin Newsom, he's like, damn you, Don Jr., why can't you? I mean, look, he gives his tricep a little pat. Newsom tells him he looks strong. He thanks him for sending his ex-wife Kimberly to Greece. A couple little, you are good looking, I am good looking, and it's a big part of why we are both here. Trump agrees wholeheartedly, and then, hello, Melania. There you go. That's the happiest she's been in quite some time. And then they spoke with the press. The governor, he did his best to make nice. He said in front of reporters to the president, he said, you were there for us during COVID, and we won't forget it, which is like telling Michael Myers he was there for us Halloween, and we won't forget it. But we need money. What are you going to do?
He started off light, throwing in a playful jab here and a little tease there, classic warm-up material to keep the audience entertained without stirring up too much controversy. But that wasn't what everyone was waiting for. They knew the real punchline was coming. Then, like a perfectly timed knockout blow, he delivered it.
I'm really proud of something. I was wondering if I could share it with you. I just got a review, and has there ever been a worse host than Jimmy Kimmel at the Oscars? His opening was that of a less-than-average person trying too hard to be something which he is not and never can be. Get rid of Kimmel and perhaps replace him with another washed-up but cheap ABC talent, George Slopanopoulos. He would make everybody on stage look bigger, stronger, and more glamorous. Blah, blah, blah. Make America great again. Okay, now, see if you can guess which former president just posted that on Truth. Anyone? No? Well, thank you, President Trump. Thank you for watching. I'm surprised you're still. Isn't it past your jail time?
Jimmy Kimmel took another shot at Donald Trump, this time using a recent controversy involving Elon Musk to deliver a stinging joke about Melania Trump. Recently, Kimmel mocked Trump's reaction to Musk's latest stunt, where he encouraged federal employees to email a list of 5 things they did at work. The move reportedly caused confusion and disrupted productivity, but Trump seemed to love the idea. He suggested that the emails could reveal whether some federal employees didn't actually exist, questioning if taxpayers were unknowingly paying salaries for ghost workers. Kimmel pointed out that emails were not exactly the best way to figure that out. Then, he took the opportunity to turn the joke on Trump, bringing up the mystery surrounding Melania's absence from public life. He said that just because Melania isn't responding or showing up doesn't mean she doesn't exist. Melania Trump has barely been seen in public and has reportedly spent little time at the White House since Trump returned to office more than a month ago. Kimmel's joke played into ongoing speculation about her whereabouts and her relationship with Trump, making it yet another sharp jab at the former president.
Ambassador General made an appearance at Trump's first cabinet meeting today, where the president weighed in on the dumb mass email Musk sent to federal employees ordering them to report 5 things they did at work last week. This caused a great deal of confusion and no doubt cost us thousands of man-hours of work. But Trump loved the idea. He sees this as a good way to figure out which federal employees don't exist.
Letters were sent out to people just to find out if the people exist. Maybe that person doesn't exist. Maybe they don't exist. Maybe we're paying people that don't exist. A lot of people that didn't exist, I guess. We have a lot of people that don't exist. We're trying to figure out, do they exist? The people weren't there. They didn't exist.
He's searching for people who don't exist, as if email will do that. Listen, you can't find Melania. It doesn't mean she doesn't exist.
Kimmel doesn't just land a joke and move on. Instead, he doubles down, digging in deeper and making it either better or worse, depending on your perspective. He breaks it apart, piece by piece, stretching out the laughter until some people in the audience are just a few chuckles away from needing a medic. Then come the cameras. Because let's be honest, whenever a comedian roasts Trump, there's always that moment when the cameras start scanning the crowd, searching for the best reactions.
And by the way, if you're just going to make stuff up, why go with something as dumb as that? Like, if I was going to make stuff up about him, I'd start telling people he wears diapers. I would explain that it's a long trial. He drinks a lot of Diet Cokes to stay awake. He's getting up there in years, and it's perfectly normal for a man of Trump's age and carriage to wear absorbent undergarments to stop the leaks. So, I mean, if I was making stuff up, that I would point out that the reason he stands like this and golfs like this and plays tennis like this is because he has a full diaper strapped around his little mushroom garden, okay? That's what I would do. If he wins, I'm gonna have to move. I don't know. Goodbye, everybody. I'm out of here.
The cameras scan the crowd, searching for the reaction shots that are about to go viral. Who's laughing a little too hard? Who's trying to stifle a chuckle? Who's nervously checking their phone, making sure they don't have any messages from their Republican uncle just yet? It's all part of the spectacle. And somewhere, in a dimly lit room with a Diet Coke in hand, Trump himself might already be watching. Maybe he's flipping through channels just in time to catch Kimmel delivering the punchline that will ruin his night. Maybe an aide has already texted him, warning that Truth Social is about to explode. Either way, one thing is certain, Kimmel just ensured that Trump's next 24 hours would be spent crafting the perfect angry response.
How weak and pathetic is a guy like that? The Tonight Show, which is dying. They're all dying. Where's Johnny Carson? Bring back Johnny. It made you appreciate, right, Uncle Sam? It made you appreciate the greatness of Johnny Carson. I go on his show, and he goes, "Is that your real hair?" I said, "Yeah." He said, "Do you mind if I mess it up?" So he grabs it, and he starts really going crazy, right? And everybody laughed, and it was a big thing, and it was a big hit. It was all over the place, and he got great ratings and all. And 6 months later, he went out because he was under pressure to apologize because he humanized Donald Trump. Do you remember? And he stood up and he said, I'd like to apologize. 6 months ago, or whatever it was, I messed up Donald Trump's hair, and it humanized him, and he became president. And I would like to apologize. How weak and pathetic is a guy like that? And his show died, but the other two shows are dying.
No matter how many times Trump tries to brush off jokes about his marriage, comedians like Jimmy Kimmel keep finding new ways to hit where it hurts. Whether it's Melania's public absence, her icy interactions with Trump, or the endless speculation about their relationship, the jokes just keep coming, and Trump's reactions only add fuel to the fire. As the late-night laughs continue to go viral, one thing is clear: Kimmel isn't backing down, and neither is the internet.